Premier Doug Ford's Conservatives have won 2 by-elections. Z. Hamid, who once sought a federal Liberal nomination, captured the riding of Milton. The riding has been vacant since Cabinet Minister Parm Gill resigned in February to join the federal Conservatives. Well, this by-election was seen as the first real test for new Liberal leader Bonnie Crombie, who had considered running for the Milton seat herself. And in southwestern Ontario, Conservative Steve Pinsonneau is the winner in Lambton, Kent, Middlesex. This riding was previously held by Cabinet Minister Monty McNaughton. And CTV political commentator Scott Reid joins us live with his analysis of the by-elections for Doug Ford's Conservatives. Thanks for joining us as always, Scott. We've been saying that this was a first real test for Liberal leader Bonnie Crombie. Is that how you feel about this? Was this a real test?
I don't think so, because I didn't really think there was a tinker's chance in hell she was going to win one of these by-elections. And people are looking at Milton going, well, that's kind of in her backyard. She was the mayor of Mississauga. This is an opportunity for her to show that she's got coattails in the 905 region. But I didn't really think that there was much of a chance of her winning. Look, let's not sugarcoat it. 6 years after getting elected premier, Doug Ford is in full and firm control of politics in this province. Right? He is literally running away with it. He's above 40%. His opposition parties are sort of even Steven in the mid-20s. He's got the opposition split against him. Bonnie Crombie hasn't been able to get momentum. It's early in her tenure. But, by any measure, this is really welcome news for Doug Ford.
You touched upon something, important, given the fact that, at some point, generally in politics, the tide starts to turn. But as you're alluding to in the overwhelming support, it doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon, especially when you've got historic investments in transit. And now the construction of the 413 that's expected to head through Milton. And that's something that, a lot of people in those regions that they wanted. What do you think this says about just, the overall strength of the Conservative Party moving forward?
Well, they've been very shrewd about how they built their political coalition. I know this sounds like insider political science class stuff, but, they have not been doctrinaire conservatives. They are not chewing up all the negative populism of the United States, of Trump and Republicans. Instead, they're trying to build a really, really broad-based political coalition, and they've been having success, and that's why they're still adding to it. One of their candidates last night used to be a Liberal, so that goes to show you they really are trying to run a Big Ten open door place. And he's got one big other advantage politically. Premier Ford does one huge advantage, and that hung like a shadow over these by-elections last night, and it's Justin Trudeau. If you're Bonnie Crombie, you're hauling around in the province of Ontario, the Liberal brand. Probably nowhere else in the country do political brands blur more between federal and provincial levels. And let's face it, the federal Liberals are unpopular. The federal Prime Minister is unpopular. Prime Minister Trudeau is unpopular. And so that's a huge boost and a huge point of benefit for Premier Ford. People hear Liberal when you knock on their door the course of the last month in Milton, and they go, sorry, I'm not buying. So this dynamic that Ford finds him in, both the things that he's doing and then some of the luck that he's benefiting from, really set him up very well.
At CTV's political analyst, Scott Reid, always great to chat. You have a great weekend, my friend.
You too, Jamie.